probably. Well, so this is one of the things that I wanted to cover was we keep talking about this quarterback, this quarterback, this quarterback. What are your actual options to fix it? Like I have 3 things in my mind that I've kind of thought about. Like, okay, so my number one option would be to get Watson, obviously. Number 2, I think I'm big on going after Alex Smith and then having Locke sit behind Smith and learn until he's ready, because he's 36 and we don't know how his leg is going to be in a year or two. So bring him in for a year or two, let Locke sit and learn, and then see what he can do. Or option 3, bring in Fitzmagic, start Locke, and then let them figure it out from there. So at least you have that backup just in case.
I actually like all those options, quite honestly. I'm trying to think of another one that I could replace with number 3, but I mean,
well, and that's why I brought up like
Smith. That would be great.
Well, and that's why I brought up like Cam Newton, because people have been talking about him and all these other free agents.
Oh my gosh!
But I don't know if I want to do that.
I mean, think about it. Everybody's on Drew for not having many touchdowns. Didn't Cam only have like 5 or 8 touchdown passes all season? I mean,
yeah, they were all running touchdowns.
He was their best running back.
They had completely had to change their offense. McDaniels had to change his offense completely. Man, if only Shermer would have done that with Hinton.
Yeah, right.
Cam had 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Can you imagine if Drew had stats that bad? I mean,
yeah.
Option 4, Kendall Hinton.
Yeah, right.
Go.
Yeah, he'd be the option. They'd be running the option.
I think there's only potentially 2 options, really. I think that if they are going to get another quarterback, it's going to be someone that's better than Drew Lock, and it's not even a question about it. And I think it's going to be either Deshaun or I think maybe even Cousins, someone. But it would be someone that would be better than Drew Lock. Otherwise, it's just going to be someone that's going to kind of push and kind of help, and I don't know, some form of competition. But I don't know what kind of competition a Dalton or Fitz is. It's not like the Broncos are going to make them their permanent starter or sign them to an extension or anything. It's just primarily to push Drew and hope that we come out of some sort of obscurity, because I just feel this next season is just going to be the biggest lull season ever. And I'm excited.
Well, and Luke had tweeted out that Mike Klis had told Brandon Stokely the Broncos will add competition to the QB room before training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we know who that is, I doubt it.
I don't think it's going to be like a Darnold. You know how people are talking about Darnold, but I'm not, because they would have to give up like a third
you'd have
round
to trade
pick.
for him, though.
You'd have to give it. Yeah, I'm saying you'd have to give up like a 3rd round pick, and he's going to be going into a contract year the very next year, and you're just kind of like that. What a weird circumstance that would be, where you'd have to make some decision of either, if like say Darnold wins out, then you have to sign Sam Darnold to an extension, but if he doesn't pan out, you gave up a 3rd round pick for him. That's what you're expecting to be pretty much like just playing level at that point. Like I have Drew Lock it's a sideways move. So yeah, I mean, it has to be either up or stay with Lock and hope for the best.
Well, and one of the things that why I brought up Alex Smith is because that the story that came out on NFL.com where he just laid into the Washington football team. Like, they didn't want me. They didn't want me to come back. They tried to put me on the physically unable to perform list, like all that stuff. So, I mean, unless he's offered like a really sweet contract, I don't see him going back to Washington. So in that scenario, I Alex Smith, I believe, is a true upgrade over Drew Lock, but you're only going to get him for a year or two. So
I'd take Alex Smith for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're that concerned about how Drew Lock is performing and he needs to sit and learn, that would be the guy to get to let him learn behind.
That relationship with Washington came pretty much as a surprise to me. You know, it seemed like such a feel-good story, and there were reports that he was tight with Snyder, and then perhaps he was going to be moving into a permanent job with the team after his career was over. So to see that, and the fact that he knew that they didn't believe in him and basically was, giving them the finger with everything he had that he was doing. I think he's gone, and he'd be prime for the taking. And he's not somebody that gets too worked up over the younger quarterbacks being next to him in the room. I mean, he had Kaepernick, and he helped him extensively, and he had Pat Mahomes, and he was great. And there's never been anyone that said anything negative about Alex Smith as a teammate. So I would welcome him in a heartbeat if we don't train for like a Deshaun.
Oh, Deshaun would be fun. I'm excited. Like Deshaun would be fun. And I know that Houston said that he's not for trade, but he sat down and had that meeting with the new coach and was like, yeah, I'm not playing.
Did you hear about the voicemails? Apparently they won't answer the phones to a point where people or teams are literally giving the trade or like potential trade offers
on
over voicemail. Like, wow. What a perfect way to be like, no, I'm not trading him. I'm trading him. And then you're like,
yeah.
Now I am. Now I'm trading him.
Your call is not important to us.
Your call is
well, I mean, and honestly, Deshaun's going to basically have his pick of where he wants to go, but there's only 3 or 4 teams that can even compete with each other as far as like cap space goes, draft capital goes, players go. Like there's only 3 or 4 teams that are going to be able to give Houston anywhere close to what they want. My question is, we keep having this debate over giving up the farm or selling everything we got. Like what does that mean? Like, do people think that we're giving up like 12 players in a trade? Because that's not going to happen.
That's right.
Well, first you have to kind of ask yourself is what do they want? Because they don't want anything right now. They don't want anything. They don't want to give them up. So it's basically just people throwing their trades out there, and the best man wins. Whoever throws the most. So nobody knows really.
That's not true because Watson has to agree to it. Yeah. He has to agree to it. If he doesn't like it, then
so let's say that Watson becomes is like, I'm leaving. Houston's like, we're accepting trade offers. What would you be what is like your max of what you would give up for Watson? Anybody?
Start us out,
I'm good.
I mean, that's tough to say because it puts you in a position. I mean, right now they're creating a lot of buzz with Watson, and why? Like, why are they doing that? Why are they trying to make this huge deal out of nothing? If they're not willing to trade him and he's not wanting to play, maybe that's just what it's going to be. So, I mean, what it is right now is every team saying, well, how much are we going to give up to get him? Because that's all that there is. You could say I'm going to give up 10 players and 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, but nobody's going to do that, though. Like, there's no GM on the face of the planet that would accept that trade.
Bill O'Brien.
At most, maybe Bill O'Brien, yeah. And that's not like 12 players in a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Well, I guarantee you that the Texans have. Like, there's no way they haven't talked about it. There's no way they haven't been like, okay, we have to discuss this as an option. Like, we're going to try our best to make sure, like, we're going to donate to the community like Deshaun Watson is doing. We're going to sit down and have a face-to-face. Oh, you still hate us? Well, bummer. Okay, well, let's talk about what exactly, potential we could get out of this, but they're not going to announce it to everybody. But I got, and what did you say you're good, by the way? I want to go back up to 6 foot. You said you're good. You say you're good. Like you wouldn't. There's nothing. If they were just like, give me a first-round pick, 1 first-round pick for Deshaun Watson.
No, I'm good, bro. I'm just saying that because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Drew Lock. I get it. Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson is great. He put up great numbers with little whatever he had. That's great and everything. I'm just saying that while Deshaun Watson coming in to Denver would make Denver a playoff team, no doubt, it's a lot to put up there to say that Deshaun Watson can take us to a Super Bowl, let alone win one. Because it's already Drew Lock is already having to deal with playing some of the best quarterbacks in this division. And yeah, I'm throwing Justin Herbert in there because Justin Herbert had a really good regular season, and I'll eat crow on that because I went on the air before that and saying that I thought Justin Herbert wasn't going to make it; he was going to flame out. But that's just me, man. I know Boggins is big on it, and a lot of other people on social media are big on Denver giving up cap space and giving up picks because picks don't mean anything, and and I know Boggins, all the first round picks that Denver have flamed out, Shane Ray, Paxton
not all,
Lynch,
but
all of them.
75% of them.
Yeah, 75%. Say what you want. And unfortunately, that's just the risk that it's not just what the Broncos have to go through. There have been plenty of NFL busts over the years, first round through whatever, on all the teams that have flamed out. And that sucks. But making the conversion from the college to NFL is not as easy as most of these players think. So
why not?
And you also have to think that
Yeah.
Sorry.
you also
Go
have
ahead,
to think that some of those first round picks that everyone is willing to give up, Denver's traded back a lot in a lot of years, and they've gotten multiple players for that one pick. So, I mean, you have to look at the in the long run, how it's helping the team with trading back or whatever they're going to do with those first round picks, because some of those players mean a lot to Denver. Like it means like go to the playoffs or no playoffs.